So you want to know what trades we're going to take next week. You want to know how trades went last week. Well, let me get my little crystal ball out and let's have a look at the crystal ball and let's see what the trades are going to do next week. What we're going to do, we're going to go to the charts. We're going to have a go over what happened last week. We're going to go over what we think might happen next week. I'll get the cards out. I'll get the little crystal ball out and we'll have a look at where we're going next week, man. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how we're going to do. While you're here, I'm going to, after the charts, take you through how you can become a profitable trader, how you can use your psychology to make a profit in the stock market. That's what we're here for. For those guys of you that haven't seen me before, if you haven't watched my videos before, I'm Rob. This is Rob's Logical Trading, and we do this all week long. Every day I put every second day I put a video out for you guys so that you can learn how to trade price action. And every Tuesday and every Thursday we have the live shows. So join us for that if you don't know us and if you haven't seen us before. If you want a funded trader account, get one in the description below. If you want a free Forex book, get one in the description below as well. Guys, let's go and have a look at the charts. Let's go and see what next week is going to bring us in the markets. Let's have a look at the trades. Let's have a look at last week's trades. Let's have a look at what's on the go for next week. Now, guys, when you see this, you'll be watching it on Saturday, but I did record this on the Friday while the markets are still open, and I've got my reasons for that. So this could have moved vastly in another direction by the time you guys have a look at these charts, but I just want to have a look at and go over what we did last week, and let's go over what we think might go down next week. So if we look at the US 500, for example, it's in a nice trend. The trend is your friend, and it's come up off of this support level that we had here. We had a really nice support level on the day, and then we drew in what was a very nice demand level, which it took out, and we were in the trade and we got stopped out on a trailing stop, which is fine. It was profitable, but by the same token, you wish we were still in the trade perhaps. But I'm going to get back in again because what I'm seeing here is it's in the trend and it looks like it wants to continue up onto the trend resistance. So that looks pretty decent. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down, and then possibly up again. And if it does that, it's probably heading for the 59. If it goes through the 59, we're probably going to target the 6,000. Most likely looking for the 6,000. So let's see how we go with that. That looks pretty decent. So if that's going up, then the Tech 100 will probably follow. It's also in a nice trend. The Dow Jones will most likely keep on going up as well. If I look at the Dow Jones, very similar situation to the S&P with its demand, probably come back down here and then head on onto the upside. The FTSE is trying to break through and break out of its range. It's been in a range for a long time and it's trying to break out of the range, but be aware that in the past it's tried to break out of its range as well and it's ended up staying in its range. So don't expect too much from it, but it does look like it wants to try and break out. So next week, let's see what it does on the new week, because we don't want to hold trades like this over the weekend with all the possibilities and geopolitics that are out there that could cause quite a lot of problems for us. So I would rather wait for Monday and just see what we're sitting with here. And if it's sitting with looking like it wants to go long, then maybe we'll get a decent long trade out of the FTSE as well. The DAX looks like it wants to remain long. Same story here. Let's wait for Monday and see what it does. But I think we might just get a continuation on to the trend resistance at the top there. The VIX, as we know, is not ready for a purchase as it stands at the moment. Right, so now France 40 also looking very long, but also seems to be settling into this range here now. My biggest concern was this big head and shoulders that had developed here, but it broke the head and shoulder. So I don't know if you guys know this or understand this, but for those of you who watch me on a regular basis, let me explain this to you quickly. If you get a head and shoulders that develops and the price breaks the head, then the head and shoulders is no longer valid and you don't have to worry about it because that price is broken. What it did develop after that, though, is a nice double top, so just be careful of that, even a triple top. So it's not perfect, but at the end of the day, it might just go up, hit this resistance, and come back down again in the range. The Nikkei is in a bullish phase, has been going up nicely, but also the Nikkei has developed a head and shoulders. And this one isn't negated. This one still stands. So if this breaks to the downside, breaks below this line, you could be in trouble here. This could head all the way down to the support, the trend support down here, which is at about 37.8. So it'll probably get down quite far if it breaks through here and that head and shoulders plays out. So Nikkei isn't looking that bullish as we stand at the moment. The SA40 has done pretty well. It has gone up. This was a trade I took on the live show on the Tuesday last week, and it was actually still showing a red candle when we took the trade, but we took it early to demonstrate how you put a stop loss in, and we put the stop loss down here at 1,000. But since then, the trade's done relatively well, and I've moved the stop loss up into profit, and we're just waiting to see what happens with this trade. It's not something you really want to hold over the weekend, but I'm not too concerned about this particular trade, and I might just move the stop loss up a little bit closer. We'll see how that goes. Gold has gone to the moon, and I expect it'll continue going to the moon. What I'm expecting here is for it to get up to the trend resistance, which is at the 27.80 level, and then maybe come back. But the risk to reward on a purchase here is not that great. I would rather wait for it to get down to the 26.60, 26.50 levels before I grab a long trade on gold. But it has broken out of its range, and it has broken the flag pattern to the upside. There's a very good chance that this is going to go all the way up to the trend resistance. So gold is looking very positive at the moment. Brent crude is bearish overall. If you look on the day chart, it is trickling down slowly. I don't know if you were here on the live show on Thursday when I discussed that I'm looking for a short trade on Brent because there's a nice big fair value gap that's developed here. There's a nice supply of money lying right here, just above everything on the 4-hour. We've got our trend resistance, we've got our main resistance, main support levels in from the day over here. And it looks to me like the price might just come back into this fair value gap. And then we've got a little trend resistance coming down here. We've got a supply of money running along here. We've got a fair value gap. Those three things together, the price comes into there. What an excellent short trade going down. Guaranteed almost that it's going to be a good trade. I doubt very much that this price is going to be able to break through all three of those, because there must be a plethora of orders hanging around in these areas here. So if it doesn't continue on going down short immediately and drop down, the risk to reward is very poor if you take the trade from here, so I'm not taking it. I'm waiting for a better opportunity, like I say. If this goes back and just tries to retest up here, you're going to get almost the perfect trade. It's going to be an excellent short trade. So watch out for this one in the new week, and we'll see how that goes. That's my little crystal ball talking, guys. A little crystal ball. As you can see, the euro US dollar has done a major fall. It's done a major crash down, and structure hasn't broken, so it is still bearish, even though it's hitting the trend support. There is a trend support line down here. If you take this down, if you go to the day, there's a trend support running through on the day, a big one. But with that said, even though it's hitting that trend support, this is still in a bearish mode. It hasn't broken structure. It's still within all the structures. So don't try and trade this long just yet. The Dixie as well, it's gone all the way to the top. It's running like a lamp pole, but lamp poles fall over. But that said, you've probably got a bit of a sort of a level in here that's going to prevent it from just falling straight down. It needs to break the structure before you can say that this is turned around and going the other way. So that's affecting the euro US dollar. It's also affecting the great British pound US dollar. While this is turning around and trying to break to the upside, I won't trade it long until it breaks above that last high over there, the higher high. Then I'll start looking at the change in structure and the possible long trade. The US dollar Japanese yen is hitting resistance. The risk to reward is very poor for a long trade here. It has come all the way up. I would say that I'd rather prefer short trades out of the trend resistance. The euro Japanese yen, we are still short on this, but it is playing up. It's not giving us much of a run. It's sitting in this range, and it's in a kind of a terrible sort of flag pattern. Hopefully it doesn't resolve to the upside. If it does, we're going to lose. But it looked very bearish on the day chart, and this is why we've taken it short. Because if you look at the day charts, it's been bearish all the way down, and then it's just settling, and it looks like it wants to resolve more to the downside. So don't get fooled by the smaller time frames. It does look short to me. So at the end of the day, waiting for this to break to the downside and give us all the profits. So we'll just stay in that trade. And I think I'll even stay in it for the weekend. which is unusual for me. The US dollar ZAR is a long trade, even though that the ZAR is South African Rand is showing signs of strength due to their economy and things that are going on there. If I look at this, it looks like it wants to bounce off in structure and give us another leg to the upside, but we'll see what happens. I'll wait for Monday on that one. I want to see how the economy goes and how the stories go and interest rates and that sort of thing in South Africa. And also the dollar has a big say in what happens there. Euro Great British Pound is hitting the trend support, so that could turn around and go long, but it does look very short as we stand. The US dollar CAD, there's a lot of people calling this short. Guys, be very careful. It's broken through the resistance, gone up to the upside. It's coming back down, retesting and going back up. This is in structure, guys. This could give you another leg the same length as this to the upside. So be very cautious about taking shorts on this. I will only take a short on the US dollar, Canadian dollar if it drops below this, what is now support and was resistance. The Aussie dollar, US dollar is trying to find its way back up, but bear in mind, guys, it's in a bearish trend at the moment. It hasn't broken structure. I will look for a long trade if it gets above the last highs, around about 67.35, then it kind of would have broken the structure again, gone back into this range, and maybe it's going back up. But as it stands at the moment, still in structure, and it still looks very short. Bitcoin, guys, you guys who have been trading the Bitcoin, your structure has broken back to the upside. It was looking very bearish. It was looking, because it broke the structure and it was looking like it wanted to head down. Now it's turned around and it's found its way back up. Like I say, the markets are always a 50-50. So even in crypto, so you've got this crypto going to the upside in structure. So at the moment, it's looking quite bullish, and it looks like it wants to continue on to the upside. So there is a little small double top here, but I don't think it's going to say too much. I think if you're long on the Bitcoin, you're okay at the moment, but only at the moment. Don't get excited. Don't get too excited about that. So that's it, guys. The US dollar is still flying up to the moon here. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what next week brings, and watch the rest of the video, because the rest of the video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the psychology of trading and how you can become a profitable trader. So now you've seen the markets and you've seen what we think might happen next week. I tell you what, let's talk a little bit about your psychology. Are you a profitable trader, and are you making money in the markets? Are you making money in Forex? Are you making money on indexes? Are you trading everything? And what I always emphasize is that you need to trade more products. You need to trade everything. Don't get stuck on gold, or get stuck on the euro US dollar, or get stuck on the US 500 index or anything like that. Spread your wings, man. Get out there and trade a little bit of everything. It's all the same at the end of the day, because you're just simply trading price action. Those who know me will know that I emphasize that you need to keep it simple. Keep it as simple as you possibly can, and have a very basic business plan. And if you want to know what my business plan is, it's a 2-step business plan. You don't need to write it down. Simply go to my other videos and have a little look, and you'll see how you trade price action. You'll see what the business plan is all about. But I always tell you guys that trading is a 50-50 game. And the reason I tell you guys that is because the market is made up of buyers and it's made up of sellers, and everybody wants to win in the stock market. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, wants to lose in the stock market. If you know someone that joined the stock market to trade because they wanted to lose, let me know. I'll sort of take their name down and give them a call, because I need to speak to them. But anyway, guys, at the end of the day, what's the psychology all about? You have to get around the fear. You'll notice that if you learn a system, if you've done that $1 million course that you paid for, and you've learned how to trade, and you know everything about trading, you know everything about the stock market, you know what moving averages are, you know what stochastics are, you know what a Fibonacci is, you know what price action is, you know what support and resistance is, you know how to trade. You're the man. You get out there and you've got an edge. According to you, you've got an edge. You believe that because you've got this system and you've got this edge, you're going to go into the market and you're going to win. I know, everybody believes it. Everybody thinks they've got that edge. Everybody thinks that because they've got some system that some $1 million course taught them, that they're now going to win in the markets. Only to realize that they start losing. And then they wonder why. They wonder, wow, why am I losing? I paid a fortune for that course that guy who told me that I can turn $100 into $1 million sold me. Now I'm losing. Why aren't I winning? Why aren't I making money in the stock market or in Forex or whatever I'm trading, futures, whatever? Well, it's because they don't teach you that it's you that makes the win, not the system. It's your psychology, your fear that changes everything. Because when you put real money in the stock market, when you put real money into a trade on Forex, when you put real money into anything, guess what? Everything changes. The whole world changes into a different color. Your whole mindset turns upside down, and suddenly you can't handle it. Suddenly you're in shock as to what's happening around you and what's going on, and you don't know what to do. Now, here's the thing. Fear is your biggest enemy when it comes to trading, because what will happen is when you go into a loss, the minute it starts to take a slight loss, your brainwaves start to change. When it starts to take a major loss, your brainwaves start to really tingle, and you start to really get upset and really get excited because you're not used to this. This is not something you're used to, because becoming a good trader means you have to become a good loser. You have to learn to switch off from this. And this is where the difficulty comes in. How do you get around this? How do you get past this? Because when it goes into a major loss, you decide now, suddenly, oh no, that stop loss that I put there is meaningless. I'm not gonna take a stop. I'm not gonna lose money. So suddenly you move the stop away and you double up on your trade with the hopes that it'll come back and it will make you your money back. And you might do this once or twice because you've got enough money to do it. But then you run out of money, or you run out of strength, or you run out of, maybe the fear just kicks in. You realize that you've lost 2/3 of your account. You realize that there's thousands and thousands of dollars just going down the toilet here. So what do? You think, well, you know what? Now I'll take that stop out. Now I'll get out of this trade. No, I'm done. This is just really taking me out. So you get out with that big loss. And the minute you do that, the market turns around and goes the other way anyway. And it's a worse feeling than the actual loss. It's a worse feeling because you would have made all that money back. That's an even worse feeling, right? You hear what I'm saying to you here? What I'm saying to you guys is lose less on your losses and make more on your wins. I'll explain that to you. Because now what you need to do with your losses, have your stop loss in place, accept the amount that you're going to lose on every single trade, and go to my other videos so that you can see the business plan on your losses and your wins, and you can even win on a one-to-one trade if you do it right. Now, when it hits that stop loss, if it goes down and it hits that stop loss, do you know what you do? You take the damn stop loss. You take the stop loss and you walk away. Stop loss, gone. Money gone. That's it. End of story. On to the next trade. Walk away. Take that small loss. But when it goes into a profit, and let's say you've got $1,000 stop loss and you've got a $2,000 target win, and it goes into profit and it goes $500 into profit, and you think, I want that. Most of you, what you'll do is you'll trade out. You'll take the $500 profit and you'll run. You'll say, oh, a profit's a profit. But that's not what you want to do, guys. What you want to do is move your stop loss up to cost. That way the trade is now free. You're no longer paying $1,000 for the trade. If it comes back and takes it out, so be it. It's free. It's break even. Doesn't really matter. You didn't lose anything. And then if it continues going up towards your target, you move your stop loss up into profit. And this is where the win rate comes into play, that I always say a win rate is meaningless to me. And that is because so many people will tell me what their win rate is, but a win rate doesn't tell me if you're profitable. It just tells me you've got a win rate. You can win $10 on every trade and lose $1,000 on one. You're really in a big loss. What you got to look out for, guys, is you're going to have a whole mishmash of small profits and a whole mishmash of small losses because of those stop losses getting taken out, because of those trailing stops getting taken out. But that's okay, because what you're looking for is that big win. What you're looking for is those big wins in amongst the 10 trades. In amongst 10 trades, there should be one or two of those trades that'll take you all the way to the top and make you a big win. And that's what you're looking for. And when it gets close to that big win and you've moved your stop loss right up behind that big win, because that's the business plan if you go look at the other videos, then you can add to the trade, or you can just keep following it up so that it makes more and more and more money. And then that pot goes into your pile. Now, so instead of that being one of the losing trades, that would be now one of the winning trades, and that would be a profitable day for you. And that's the simple psychology of trading, following the wins, not the losses. Once you get around that, once you figure it out, and once you figure out that trading's a 50-50 game, and if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the other videos so that I can actually show you how that works at the end of the day. Anyway, this video was supposed to be about the week ahead. So that's what we talked about, the week ahead. And I'm really going into a little bit of detail here, which you can get in Monday's video, which will describe a little bit more to you with my 30 years experience on how to become a profitable trader. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a good weekend, and we'll come back on Monday and we'll give you a little bit more information on exactly how you trade these principles and how you trade with these amazing systems that we have in the market for you. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the next video. Come back for the live shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Cheers, thanks, and bye.